Hello, it's another episode of The Flying Reporter. We're at Redhill, we're going to go flying, and today I want to tackle my biggest aviation weakness. That weakness is sometimes my difficulty flying an accurate circuit pattern. The Flying Reporter is supported by Vertigo covers, makers of all-weather modern aircraft covers, Anglian Flight Centres, a flying school at Earl's Cone Airfield, and now we have a new sponsor on board. Now, some of you will have already worked out that I'm now being sponsored by Flying Eyes glasses, glasses made by pilots for pilots, and as I've said before, there's some great benefits of these. The micro thin arms that slip under your headset, making sure you don't get any noise leaks coming through when you're flying. I've got these lose-ons which have got these great clip-on sunglass elements which are great for cockpit management. If I suddenly need to take them off or put them on, it's really easy. The other thing about these is that these arms, as well as being micro thin, are made of a special composite material which means practically they're unbreakable. Now, I've seen them do this at Flying Eyes, and I've not tried it myself, but basically you're meant to be able to bend these all the way around and they won't break, so this could be a problem if they do today because I've got to go flying. But look at that, just amazing. To get a 10% discount off your Flying Eyes eyewear, use my discount code TFR or click on the dedicated link on your screen and in the video description. Clear prop! So circuits, my biggest aviation weakness. I can fly a standard aerodrome circuit all day long, but when I'm visiting somewhere with a non-standard circuit with turning points that are references to indistinct ground features, I can find it really hard. Today I'm flying to Compton Abbas, and because of noise abatement procedures, there are a few hamlets and villages to avoid. It's a non-standard circuit, and we'll see how I get on. But before we even begin our taxi, there's a problem.
Golf Sierra Lima, we appear to have a flat tyre, so we'd like just to shut down and inspect.
Golf Sierra Lima, Roger, you're not in front of the runway. Have you crossed the holding point now?
Negative, we're still this side of Alpha 1.
Golf Sierra Lima, Roger, you can shut down and inspect the tyre.
Golf Sierra Lima.
Now that aircraft is at the holding point for the runway, well, to get to the runway I want to get to. I'm going to need another way of getting to the threshold. Redhill Tower, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, outbound with Echo QNH 1020.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, Redhill Tower, pass your message.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, PA28, parked opposite the tower, request taxi, VFR flight to Compton Abbas 1 POB.
Golf India Victor, Roger, stand by.
Here's the problem. I'm here, the aircraft is blocking the taxiway at Alpha 1, and I need to get around to Charlie 1 for runway 36 over here.
Golf India Victor, onto the taxiway, hold at Echo 2, squawk 3767.
Onto the taxiway and hold Echo 2, squawk 3767, Golf India Victor. So he's disabled over there, which is the way I'd normally get to the runway. I suspect what's going to happen is I'm going to backtrack runway 36.
Golf India Victor via Echo 2, enter backtrack runway 36 and left at the end to hold at Charlie 1.
Via Echo 2, enter backtrack runway 36. At the end, we left turn and hold Charlie 1, Golf India Victor.
Golf Victor Lima downwind to land.
Golf Victor Lima, number 1, report final, 1 backtracking.
Number 1, report final, backtracking visual. Golf Victor Lima.
Golf India Victor, Charlie 1, ready for departure.
Golf India Victor, Roger, after departure, left turn out north of Reigate, not above altitude 1,400 feet.
Hold position after departure, I'll leave via north of Reigate, not above altitude 1,400 feet, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor.
Golf India Victor, runway 36, surface wind 350, 9 knots, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 36, Golf India Victor. temperatures and pressures, T's and P's, 60. Golf India Victor north of Reigate, visual with the Cessna, we're overtaking on the left. Request frequency change, Farnborough.
Golf India Victor, thank you. Score cost security and free call Farnborough, bye-bye.
Sort con security and Farnborough, Golf India Victor, goodbye.
Free call Blackfish 122.305.
So the thing that I have historically been really bad at and struggled with throughout my whole flying is the visual circuit. That's not to say I don't know the positions in the circuit and I can't fly the pattern and make all the radio calls and the overhead join and everything along that. It's flying the circuit as the aerodrome
good morning.
would want it to be flown.
With you, just holding north of the M3.
In other words, noise abatement procedures. I can fly a standard circuit without any difficulty. But give me a complicated noise abatement procedure, or any noise abatement procedure for that matter, and a requirement to turn at certain points. I find it really hard to look at what they published and then fly that. And I'm wondering if you have the same problem.
Radar control and go traffic inside.
And the reason is that very often we're kind of being told to look out for local landmarks, and these landmarks might be a little hamlet, a mast, a greenhouse, a hill, and if you're not familiar with the area, these landmarks don't stand out at you when you're flying at 100 knots.
Golf Lima India, no need to hold.
And I've had issues in the past, you know, I've flown into places and I've been told, oh, you were a quarter of a mile off, or you turned too early. I had somebody come and approach me at a place that I landed at not long ago. And
who's leaving?
They asked to see my Sky Demon track because they'd had a call from a landowner. And we've got to the point now where we're using GPS. And so everyone expects that you can fly the circuit that's published as if you were on a railway line. Now, I'm not talking about wind. You know, we should all as pilots be able to adjust our path and the circuit for wind. That's not the point I'm making. Literally, you could be a foot off the track and they're after you. A friend of mine got a letter from some residents at Solent, and they can't have been very much off track. But when the public sees the published pattern and now realises that we all carry GPS, they expect that we can follow the circuit as if we're a railway train on a line.
November 904 Bravo Papa, you've left controlled airspace now.
The thing about GPS is that it's all great, but in the circuit, I don't want to be looking down at this. I want to be looking out the window for other traffic.
Call sign please and pass your message.
And so whilst I do have this on, and I can see the circuit pattern on there, I would rather be looking out and managing my speed in the cockpit than looking at this. Now what do? Do you now use Sky Demon to do your circuits? Or other flight planning software? Or do you do what I do, is make a best go of it?
Don't get me wrong, we should all do all we can to be considerate to the neighbourhoods around aerodromes, but surely we either have to have clearly defined landmarks to look out for in the visual circuit, or accept that pilots aren't always going to see the indistinct turning points that they studied before setting off on their flights. Let me know how you get on with this.
So I've studied this quite a lot. I studied it over 2 nights, I've been looking at it, I've been looking at the aerial photography. I've done my best. I've annotated this as well, and I'm going to try and fly the Compton Abbas circuit, that's where we're heading today, accurately, and we'll review it on Sky Demon and see what my performance was like.
Silent radar, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, request zone transit.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, silent radar, squawk 3661, silent QNH 1020, pass message.
Squawk 3661, QNH 1020, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, PA28 Aero, Redhill to Compton Abbas, position 19 miles east of Sam, altitude 2,200 feet. Request zone transit, Buster Hill Mast, Sam and M27 Junction 2 VFR and the basic service.
Golf India Victor, roger, basic service outside control airspace.
Basic service, Golf India Victor.
Gemstone TCO uniform, contact Stanton Tower, 118.205.
Stanton Tower 18205, Gemstone TCO uniform, thanks, bye.
So we want a heading to Sam of 260.
Bravo Mike India Victor, clear to transit controlled airspace, not above altitude 3,000 feet to VFR.
Clear to transit, Southampton controlled airspace, not above altitude 3,000 feet VFR, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Golf India Victor, what your current level?
2,200 feet, QNH 1020, Golf India Victor.
Roger.
I just want to give a shout out to my other supporters. Of course, my Supporters Club members help me keep the channel going with their monthly subscriptions, which entitles them to bonus content. Here are some of the items currently showing on the Supporters Club channel. We've just not long published a video where I depart from Glasgow IFR, and that means I have to do a standard instrument departure, which is rare when you're flying on a restricted instrument rating. To be asked to do that, and you can see how that works, what that means, and that's in a bonus video that's currently showing on the Supporters Club channel, along with lots of other things. One of them is why this orange light keeps flashing, and I keep getting asked why that is. I usually put it in the comments, but there's a video all about that, and the Piper Aero auto gear extension system.
If you sign up through my website, there's currently a 1-month free trial of the Supporters Club. It would mean the world to me if you'd consider joining.
Golf India Victor, request frequency change, Compton Radio 122.710.
Golf India Victor, yeah, it's on service terminate, squawk conspicuity and frequency change approved, goodbye.
Squawk conspicuity, good day, Golf India Victor. Compton Radio, Golf Bravo Mike, India Victor, 16 miles to the east, inbound, request aerodrome information.
Golf Bravo Mike, India Victor, good morning to you. We're using runway 08, left-hand circuit, QP 995, and standard overhead joint.
Runway 08, left-hand circuit, QFE 995, will make a standard overhead joint, Golf Bravo Mike, India Victor.
Golf Ranger short final for 08.
Your wind is northerly 10 to 15 knots, and could you land left or right of the centre line?
So quite a long,
we'll go Golf Ranger.
quite a strong crosswind from the left. QFE 995.
Compton Radio, Golf Alpha Whiskey, student, liner up, runway 08.
So we need to start slowing down a bit now, giving a bit of...
Roger, there should be a gap between the other 172 and the group, if you want to pop it in there.
We'll go Golf Ranger, thank you.
Fuel is on the tank with the fullest, mixture's coming rich. Radio's tuned, identified engine temperatures and pressures. And no other warning lights. Direction indicator is aligned, altimeter, we're on QFE here. Golf India Victor, entering the ATZ from the east, height 1,900 feet, making an overhead join, runway 08.
Golf India Victor, roger, thank you.
Compton Radio, student, Golf Alpha Whiskey, final 08 touch.
Student Alpha Whiskey, roger.
We go round that town there.
Northeasterly 10 to 15 knots.
I usually find that an overhead join gives me the best chance of identifying the various turning points, but while some of them are quite obvious, small little hamlets, collections of houses and single-track roads are more difficult to distinguish from one another.
Greens. Golf India Victor, descending dead side, runway 08, left-hand circuit.
Roger.
Golf Echo downwind to land runway 08.
Golf Echo, roger.
This shot shows the airfield just behind the wing. This is the threshold, here the crosswind position that I'm going to route back over. And here is Melbury Abbas that I must not fly over, but instead extend further than usual on crosswind to go past it before turning onto a wide downwind leg.
Radio student Alpha Whiskey, Golf Alpha Whiskey, downwind 08.
Roger.
I'm turning off your Sky Demon view now as we're joining the circuit. I wasn't using that for my positioning. Instead, I was relying on my memory of the diagram from the Compton Abbas website that you can see on the screen and keeping my eyes peeled outside because there was other circuit traffic.
Golf Echo stage runway 08 to land.
Golf Victor, crosswind, runway 08.
Roger, thank you.
Undercarriage is down, 3 greens, mixture is rich, fuel is on the tank with the fullest landing light. Carb heat we don't have, doors are locked, strapped in. Right, we avoid this town here.
Golf Echo, wind is northeasterly 10 to 12.
Roger, Golf Echo is final to land runway 08.
Roger, wind is northeasterly 10 to 12 knots.
I'm not using Sky Demon for my circuit pattern here. I'm going by my memory here of what the chart was. Golf India Victor, midpoint downwind, runway 08, left-hand circuit to land. In front.
Golf India Victor, roger, thank you.
Cross some road here.
So now I'm looking out for this little hamlet here, but it looks very much like the hamlet here and here, and I know I need to fly past it before turning base. I'm trying to keep an eye out for the A350 as well, which is probably easier for you to do watching this video from my camera under the aeroplane than it is for me in the cockpit, but see if you can work out when to turn base.
Compton Radio, Golf Alpha Whiskey, student, final 08.
Student Alpha Whiskey, roger, wind is northeasterly 10 to 12 knots.
Thanks. Golf Echo's runway vacated.
Roger, thank you.
So I obviously think I'm in the correct base position here. That's based on my memory of the chart that you've been able to reference throughout. Am I correct? Well, we'll check after landing. Now I'm looking to route between these two villages here. See if you can spot them.
995 and 1025 and 08 left hand. Golf Kilo, Tango India. On to traffic, Golf Victor, extending downwind for separation.
Victor Victor, roger, thank you.
The aircraft reporting that it's extending downwind behind me is a clue for you as to whether I've got this right.
Golf India Victor, turning final, runway 08 to land.
Victor, roger, wind is northeasterly 10 to 12 knots, and could you land at left or right of the centre line?
India Victor.
Come to traffic, Golf Victor is left space, visual 1 in front.
Victor, Victor, roger.
Reds, blues, 3 grains. Golf India Victor, runway vacated.
India Victor, roger. Do you need fuel or just parking?
Just parking.
Roger, once you do another right-hand turn, park next to the group.
Next to the Golf India Victor. I thought we flew that quite well. Slight integration issue with an aircraft climbing out, doing touch and goes. I think I gave him enough space, but it sounded like he needed to extend downwind for me because I'd cut in ahead of him, but you know, you try and time it so it works out for everyone. So yeah, I think we flew the circuit accurately there. I spotted all the landmarks. Let's have a look at Sky Demon and see what it says. Well, looking at this, I've gone way out too far. Now it did say don't turn in early, and I've overcompensated for that. And you can see I've gone out way too far. But I was definitely looking out the window and not looking into the cockpit. I mean, I have avoided Compton Abbas on final here, and I'm probably not best friends with the person who was behind me because I'd extended quite a long way downwind there, as you can see. So not perfect. Yeah, I got my downwind more or less right, a few feet off for those who want to be picky, but as you can see, you know, I've not quite done the base leg right. When you've got small little villages that you're trying to sort of route to and around, you can't always spot them or distinguish one from another. So yeah, you know, it was a safe join, safe arrival, but that readout there shows you the problem with trying to fly a circuit without GPS and relying on your memory of the landmarks. Yeah. So let me know what you find with this as well. Whether you find that this is a problem, whether you look back at your tracks and they're absolutely perfect, and whether you use GPS in the circuit. That would be appreciated. Thank you for watching. I think the engine's about ready to be shut down now, so we'll do that, go and get a cup of coffee. Thank you for watching. Fly safely, my friends.
This video was recorded before the top end of India Victor's engine had to be stripped down. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay tuned for updates on that coming soon.